That's right, y'all. We back on the scene to pull the lesson out. This is Gaming Looks Good, episode 19. And this show we are talking about. That's right, y'all. Star Wars Battlefront. Awesome game out by Electronics Arts, Electronic Arts. Even though I'm kind of hating that they put their name in the Star Wars kind of logo, looks a little weird. But I'm not that mad at it because the game is great. So before we get into the game particular, hey, this is Gaming Less Good, y'all. I'm Sharif Jackson coming to y'all out of Milwaukee, and on this show we take our game here and we look at it from the lens of diversity. So, race, gender, and sexuality are usually the three topics that we try to touch upon. And the T-shirt that I'm wearing on this show, because I like to feature a new shirt every show, I'm actually wearing in memory of Tamir Rice, the African American boy that was gunned down, murdered by Cleveland police a year ago. And My shirt now has various leaders who have done a lot of work in the African American community to help make America better, and this shirt is just a sign that that struggle continues. Let's get right to the video here. So basically, they allow you to choose between two teams. There's the good team on the light side of the force, that's the rebellion, and there's the evil team on the dark side of the force, that is the empire. And when you choose the rebellion, I was very surprised to see that the default character is actually a black woman, right? So this is the default character if you don't go into the screen and unlock or customize anything. And I can't remember the last time I've seen this in a game that allows you customization because most of the time, even if they let you customize your character as much as you want, that default is always white, and is usually male. So I really love this. Bravo to like Electronic Arts for for making this happen. Might seem like a small thing, but this significantly increased the amount of black character models that I actually saw in the game. Now, the only other thing that will make this better is if it was randomized, because as you can see as I go down the list, they have a wide variety of like black characters, white characters, and Asian characters, and they have slightly different kind of body types, and they have a lot of different ages, right? Meaning that they have older fighters and younger fighters and middle-aged fighters. That's something you almost never see in these games. It's usually kind of like the CW of gaming, where it's just a bunch of like young pretty people blowing each other up, right? So I really like that they thought about the race and the gender and the ages too. But if only that default character was like a random one, that would be cool. Because there's nothing wrong with like having white characters in a game, but the main issue is when they are only the default there. So bravo to EA for making that default character a non-white cis male, and for giving you all these options, which are all unlocked from the start. Right, all of the lockables here are like helmets and like facial hair and things like that. But the base models, all 12 unlocked. So that is very, very awesome. So now I'm going to show a little bit of the gameplay just to show you how cool it is to see so many women in this game, because again, this isn't something that you see in a lot of multiplayer games. So let's go into some of the footage here.
Offline. Look sharp. Hostiles in the bunker.
So the really cool thing there was that, action packed, awesome effects, and you hear all these women in there trash talking, calling out support, calling out enemy kind of positions there, and it's just like it's normal, right? They don't make a big deal about it. They don't have them saying like sexually suggestive lines like you do see in some other games. They're just soldiers out there trying to fight for their side of the fight for the universe, right? And that's really what this diversity thing is about, right? Like it should be normal to have women in your games. It should be normal to have people of color in your games, and I think that this is a really good example of how easy it is to diversify your characters. You don't have to make them act differently. They don't have to talk in a certain way. They just need to, be what that character is for any other race or any other gender. So I thought that they did just like a really good job of like normalizing these characters. Now, as you can see on the video there, right in the middle is Princess Leia, right? One of the most badass female characters, in movie history, right? And the original Star Wars came out in the '70s, right? So like this was a a while back. And one thing I love is so like she appears in this mode called the hero mode, where like you can pick different heroes from the Star Wars franchise, such as Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, as we see there, which is also the name of my dog, um, Han Solo, and other characters like that. So the fact that in this battle mode they use her as the hero, that actually says a lot, because like they could have tucked her off on the bottom of the menu, and like it could have been really easy to have like Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader or like the Emperor, but they had her there, which I think says a lot about really the inclusiveness that EA is really trying to foster in this title. So let's dig down into the menu a little more. Right. So they have her right there on the upper right. She represents the hero battle on Hoth, right? Which, if you haven't seen the movies at the beginning of Star Wars 5, The Empire Strikes Back, it's this huge, awesome scene on the ice planet of like Hoth, which is one of my favorite scenes in the entire Star Wars franchise, and they have her to represent that. Now there is a different hero for each fight, right? But still, they could have chosen not to show her on that cover, and the fact that they did is like awesome. So let's take a bit of a look into how Leia is actually represented in the battle. All right, so for these battles at the beginning, they like let you choose from three different heroes: Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, and Princess Leia. And if you look at their power up options there, each of them get three special abilities. And Luke and Han's are like a little more offensive. They're 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 a little more aggressive than Leia's is. Leia is definitely more of a supporting character. She does have a offensive power, which like allows her to like take anyone out in like a one shot. But her other two are a supportive shield and a health pack that like regenerates health from any other team member that touches it. So I do like the fact that they did give her that like a one shot ability, because in the movies she's a much better blaster shooter than like Han Solo is, in my opinion. So I'm glad that they didn't make her strictly defensive, but I do wish that that they kind of made her a little more offensive with the special moves. But you'll see as you play with her, she definitely kicks ass. And let's go into some of that footage.
Our friends are counting on us. I'm still standing. Shield up! They don't know what they're up against.
All right, so I deployed the shield there, and As you can hear, she's talking massive amounts of shit. And now I just use the one shot ability so I could take down some of these stormtroopers.
Cover each other! I'm still around.
Boom!
Lucky shot!
Yeah, so I love that they kept her sarcasm, like they kept her aggressiveness, like the trash talk is like great, and her power is actually really good in battle. I mean, as you saw, like I was getting swarmed by guys, and that shield really helped a lot. And the health pack I usually use like for myself. I mean, you do have a team of like people around you, and you can play this as like a co-op player. But I felt like a badass, kind of like what I'm saying. I love the lines like I'm still around and like lucky shot. So I feel like they really accurately capture Leia as like a real hero, and I really think that she deserves her own game, to be honest. But maybe that'll happen. Maybe not. Now, I always try to end with something funny or like a glitch. Couldn't find any glitches yet, but the emotes in this game are really funny. My favorite one is where you basically act like you're getting electrocuted. So very similar to the Harlem Shake one in the Black Ops 3 um, multiplayer video in episode number 17. But the funny thing about it is once like I do it, everyone else starts doing it around me, and it's just hilarious because it makes a really funny sound like booga 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 booga. You'll see how it goes. So I just did it. So the idea of it is like you do that after you kill someone, and now there's a person in back of me is going to repeat it. Yeah, so I've literally had games where like it's just been chains of people kind of doing that emote, and I fall out laughing each time. So they did kind of keep like the sense of humor, because Star Wars is definitely not like a overly serious kind of franchise. It is made to entertain and like it is funny. So I'm glad that, that they did that. And the last bit of kind of funny stuff is I can't fly in this game, and there's scenes where you're piloting planes and I just can't do it. And I suck at it. So as you can see here. Yeah, that's how they most all end for me is the killed yourself as I'm trying to give support and I fly into a mountain. But yeah, this game is great. Definitely is great on the diversity side, and the game itself is fun as well. So I'm out, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, gamelooksgood.com, at gaming looks good on Twitter, and the hashtag gaming looks good. Peace out.